U.S. President Donald Trump on Monday walked back a threat to bomb Iranian power plants.
We have had very, very strong talks. We'll see where they lead.
Speaking to reporters, Trump said he'd changed his mind after discussions between Iranian figures and his envoys, Steve Witkoff and Jared Kushner.
They want very much to make a deal. We'd like to make a deal, too.
Trump did not say who in Iran was involved in these talks, but said it was not the country's supreme leader. Iran's Fars news agency, citing a source, said there are no direct or indirect communications with the United States. The White House did not respond to questions about the content of the talks, who participated, or where they were held. Monday's message seemed to be the latest in a rapid series of different signals from Trump on the joint U.S.-Israeli attack on Iran launched last month, now in its fourth week. On Friday, Trump had suggested the U.S. might be, quote, winding down its attacks on Iran. But a day later, he threatened to destroy Iranian power plants if Tehran did not allow ships to transit the Strait of Hormuz. Iran responded to the threat, saying it could strike energy facilities in the Gulf. The threats drove oil prices higher. The conflict had effectively paralyzed maritime traffic through Hormuz, conduit for around 1/5 of global oil and liquefied natural gas, causing the most severe energy crisis since the 1970s. Trump on Monday said he'd ordered any strikes on Iranian power plants paused for 5 days.
We're doing a 5-day period. We'll see how that goes. And if it goes well, we're going to end up with settling this. Otherwise, we'll just keep bombing our little hearts out.
After Trump said he'd postponed the threatened strikes, the price of the Brent crude oil benchmark A massive hole yawned through the roadway of the Qasmiya Bridge in Lebanon on Monday. The day before, Israeli forces struck the key bridge over the Litani River. The river is a natural boundary demarcating southern Lebanon, and destroying the crossings severs the south from the rest of the country.
As you can see, they struck this bridge, one of the most important bridges, connecting to Sidon and to Tyre. And as you can see, the Israelis do not care about bridges, nor do they care about civilians or anything else. They are striking everywhere.
Fighting between Israel and Iranian-backed Hezbollah fighters in Lebanon erupted anew after Hezbollah opened fire at the start of the U.S.-Israeli attack on Iran. Israel's President Isaac Herzog visited the city of Kiryat Shmona on Monday, where residents have endured Hezbollah rocket and mortar fire. Shortly after the visit, an air raid siren sent people running for shelter, and an explosion resonated. Israel's defense minister on Sunday said he had instructed the military to accelerate the demolition of Lebanese homes in frontline villages to end threats to Israelis, and to destroy all bridges over Lebanon's Litani River, which he said were used for, quote, terrorist activity. Lebanese authorities say the Israeli air and ground assault has killed more than 1,000 people. More than 1 million have been driven from their homes, with Israel having ordered residents to flee swaths of the country. Mohammed Saleh is sheltering in Beirut. He told Reuters he vowed to return to southern Lebanon, saying that the Israelis shouldn't think that by striking bridges, they'd cut off the road back. But some in Israel have other plans. Finance Minister Bezalel Smotrich on Monday said Israel should seize Lebanese territory up to the Litani River. He told a radio program the military campaign in Lebanon, quote, needs to end with a different reality entirely, both with the Hezbollah decision, but also with the change of Israel's borders.
U.S. Energy Secretary Chris Wright said on Monday that global oil prices have not climbed enough to cause demand destruction, where sustained high prices force consumers to permanently change behavior rather than temporarily cut back. Wright delivered that assessment at the CERAWeek Energy Conference in Houston, Texas. And it comes as markets continue to gyrate, though benchmark Brent crude dropped more than 10% Monday to below $100 a barrel. The price of oil fell Monday after President Donald Trump announced he would order the military to postpone strikes against Iranian power plants and energy infrastructure, easing fears over the repercussions of a deeper oil shock. Prices have surged because of the war with Iran, which has included Iranian attacks on ships that travel through the Strait of Hormuz, through which about a fifth of the world's oil and gas passes. Wright says U.S. oil production, which has been forecast to plateau by the end of the decade, could see a boost if higher crude prices are sustained for a longer period due to the conflict. Attacks on energy infrastructure, including liquefied natural gas facilities in Qatar, could wipe out 17% of its LNG capacity and take close to 5 years to repair. The Trump administration is taking steps to pacify markets, including releasing oil from the U.S. Strategic Petroleum Reserve in conjunction with other members of the International Energy Agency. Though Wright told CNBC on Monday that the United States is highly unlikely to release more oil from its reserve.
Based on what's going on right now, consumers are the loser.
Ken Medlock is worried about the impact of these high oil prices on U.S. consumers. The senior director of the Center for Energy Studies at Rice University spoke to Reuters ahead of the CERAWeek conference.
Those consumers are negatively impacted by high prices, so that will put a drag on consumer pocketbooks, consumer spending. It will actually delay certain expenditures for segments of industry that are very energy intensive and have a ramification that is negative for GDP. So those two things kind of offset. And so what that means, the U.S. could see a recession. It would likely be a relatively mild recession if it does happen, but certainly you won't see a boom as a result of what's going on in the United States.
The CERAWeek conference, which attracts energy industry executives, government officials, and technology experts, runs from March 23rd to March 27th.
There is growing evidence that the Russians continue to provide the Iranian regime with intelligence support. This is clearly destructive activity and must be stopped, as it only leads to further destabilization. All responsible states are interested in ensuring security and preventing bigger problems. Markets are already reacting negatively, and this is significantly complicating the fuel situation in many countries. By helping the Iranian regime survive and strike more accurately, Russia is effectively prolonging the war. There must be a response.
A very loud explosion woke us up. We quickly gathered our things and ran downstairs. Everything was on fire on our floor. There was a direct hit to our floor, but our flat is on the opposite side. There was smoke and we took our 3-month-old child and ran quickly to the underground shelter. My car is destroyed. All our windows were blown out. It's a residential building, 16 floors. People were living here peacefully, and this is what's happening. Guided aerial bombs reached Zaporizhia, and not so long ago the building next door had just been rebuilt, and today it was hit by a Shahed.
We've been stranded for 4 days with just a few gaps to get out of town because at night it's been raining a lot. So we are waiting for the storm to leave because we all want rain, but not this way because we are stranded.
We are giving food to the neighbors, water, milk, and sugar as they are running out of it because they weren't expecting this. So we are supplying them so they can endure this storm.
We're just outside of Stellenbosch riding the biggest jumps in the world for Darkfest 2026. It's insane.
This is the best contest or the best week you could go ride a bike anywhere. So to take this home is insane.
It's so amazing to get the level of riding globally for everyone here, and to see what the really big dogs who come from all over the world can do on these jumps is something special.
Estée Lauder and Spanish beauty group Puig said Monday they are discussing a merger. The deal would create a $40 billion luxury beauty group and put brands such as Tom Ford, Carolina Herrera, and Clinique under one roof. The deal comes as the global fragrance industry faces a slowdown after years of strong post-pandemic growth. It could also help drive Estée Lauder's turnaround efforts after the company's annual outlook fell short of Wall Street estimates. A source familiar with the deal told Reuters that another part of the rationale is that a combined company will better compete with French giant L'Oreal. But one analyst said it could just, quote, settle Estée Lauder with more problems. Puig, home to iconic perfume lines from Jean-Paul Gaultier and Byredo, last month reported slowing growth in fragrances. Shares of Estée Lauder fell sharply on news of the plan, ending Monday's session more than 7% lower.